everyone. Welcome to the Middle School Visual Arts PLC group. My name is Alicia Montgomery and I'm the moderator for this group. I'm so glad that you decided to join our community. It was really created with you in mind. Our goal is to collaborate and support each other as we navigate the craziness of teaching middle school visual arts. Whether you're the only one in your system or one of many, we know that you're going to find things here to help you. In order to make this as beneficial as possible, be sure to set up your notifications and check back often to see post discussions and support that are going to be showcased. Please engage in the discussions and share this with your friends and colleagues. So this series of sessions is talking about wrapping up the year and how do you do that. So this particular session is going to focus on chores, reorganization, and inventory for your classroom. So one of the first things that I do as I'm wrapping up the year is to make sure that I return all of my students' stuff. So anything that's been in exhibits, papers, sketchbooks, any personal materials, because a lot of times my students will bring in their own color pencils or things like that. So we go ahead and make sure and take those things with us early in that last week. So a lot of students for us won't come the last couple of days. So I have a little hard plastic tray that looks like this, and I just put all of the stuff in there for kids that might have been absent or things that I've picked up from different exhibits or art centers. And then I make sure that I get all of that back to the students. Any students that may have withdrawn, I try to contact them and say, hey, it's going to be in the front office if you're interested in coming to pick it up. So another thing that I'll do, and I have students help with this, is everybody does some independent chores. One of the things that they do is we go through, they have a Ziploc bag that has all of their crayons and color pencils in it that they've used for the quarter or for the year. And we go through those boxes, we dump all the crayons out on the table or all the color pencils, whichever one we're working with. And we go through and make sure that all the colors are there. If they're missing colors, then I have some extras in a box and we'll replace those. So that way when I come back in the fall, they're already put together, they're ready to go. And then I can also see, okay, which ones do I need to replace? So if I have lots of broken crayons in a certain box, then I'll probably pull that box and make a note that I need to order that many new ones. Or if I've got some that are getting older and really worn down. And then I do the same thing for my color pencils. Like this year, we've really used a lot of black and a lot of white, and we ran short on those. So I'm going to see about ordering just those two colors individually, as well as the sets of colors for each student. The next thing we do is group chores. I have my classroom is set up into 5 groups, and so I have each group do a small chore to help clean up the room and to pack it all up, and I make it part of their grade. I use a work ethics grade, so they earn a certain number of points each day, and so I make it part of that. It helps hold them accountable, and it cuts down on the horseplay by doing that. I make it in different sections of the room so they're not all on top of each other, and I make it something that's really quick. So for example, I might have one group clean the tables, or clean all of the tables really good, make sure to scrub the top really good, make sure that there's not any crayon, marker, anything left on the top. If there is, we get out the magic eraser and scrub it really good. I have them also check the edges of the table. We check underneath the tables for any gum or grossness that have been under there. I may have each group clean a counter. I have 4 counters in my room that are pretty long. And so we go through and clean those really good. I tell them if there's anything on the tables or the counters that won't come off, like glue or things like that, I'll bring a knife over and I will scrape it very gently so that way we don't harm the finish on the countertops or the tables. Another thing that we do is we clean out and organize the cabinets and the drawers where we keep all of our supplies. I usually choose students that really like to do that kind of thing to make sure that they do it. Like our magazine cabinet is always a mess. So I have students that go in, take all the magazines out, the ones that are majority cut out of, we'll go ahead and throw those away. And the ones that we're keeping, we'll go ahead and stack really neatly. Have them check the glue bottles, pull out the ones that need to be refilled or replaced. Clean and organize the shelves in the back of the classroom where we keep all of our books and examples. I have a few students from a group clean the whiteboard with whiteboard cleaner. I have a student that goes around, a couple of students, very trustworthy students, and clean the monitors on our computers with a special monitor spray. I have a couple of students that dust. I have some students wipe window ledges and the fronts of the cabinets and our classroom doors where people have touched them with paint fingers or whatever. And then I'll have people clean the paint palettes. So if I have every group in each class do just a little bit, it doesn't take us really long, and I don't have to do a lot of it at the end of the day. All right, the next thing that I do is replace anything or put it on my supply order if it needs to be ordered. Anything that's damaged or torn up. So for example, my labels right now look like this one. Some of them are peeling on the corners. Or I noticed that some of the chalkboard markers that I used have faded with the lights in my classroom. So I go back over those and rewrite them, replace any labels that need to be replaced. So that way when I come back in August, all of that's done and I don't have to worry about resetting all of that stuff. I replace any portfolios that have been written on or beat up, any sketchbook boxes that have gotten cracked or damaged. So I go ahead and replace all of those things now, so that way it makes it easier for me to start the year when we come back. Another thing that I do to get everything wrapped up is to reorganize my storage room and do my inventory. So right now, this is what my storage room looks like. It's usually very organized. This is our scary construction paper corner. Cardboard corner. So all of the boxes that we use get broken down and stuck in this corner. And we pull those out and cut them out for when we need cardboard for different things. But I have basically 4 walls that kind of look like this in my classroom. And so I go through it this time of the year and go ahead and sort through everything, put back the things that may not necessarily have gotten put back in the proper places in the rush of the year or finishing up projects. And that also helps me as we go through and do the inventory. So I usually have some very trustworthy students help with this as well that like to do this kind of thing. So I always have some students that really like to count or organize, and so I'll let them help me do that. And what we do is I'll have the items listed, so it'll say red construction paper, X-Acto knives, whatever it is. And I put the quantity that we have left, and then I'll look at my curriculum map for next year and see how many of that item that I need. And then I can go through and list how many I need to order. So that way I make sure and have a really good system for doing that. So thank you for joining us. Please take a few minutes to participate in the discussion question. I can't wait to hear all of your wonderful ideas and share some of my own, so be sure to subscribe. Also, so you don't miss out on any of the updates, posts, discussions, or any of the fun.